Yep. 8-year-old me was right. Hi, everyone. It's me, Grant, the movie and TV guy. Hello. We got two reviews tonight. We'll start with one that is a rare treat. I'm going to do a retro review for a film that's being reissued in at least a couple of theaters this weekend. Definitely mine. And that is, because movies and TV is what we do here, and I'm Grant, the movie and TV guy, we're going to be talking about a classic that this year is turning 20, and I can't believe it because I saw it in the theater's first run, and that is the film that started it all, a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful adventure, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. For the two people that don't know, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone is directed by Chris Columbus, not the one we celebrate every year who actually raped and pillaged a bunch of innocent natives living in the West Indies, and calling it America. No. This is the nice Chris Columbus. This is the one who directed Adventures in Babysitting, Home Alone, and also I Love You, Beth Cooper. That's right. I mentioned I Love You, Beth Cooper. I think it's underrated. Come at me, haters. I like that movie. It's ridiculous, but so are every teen movie. Watch every teen movie you want to. There's something ridiculous in them. Anyway, what's Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone about? Well, and who's involved in the plot? Well, the film begins on a little English street called Privet Drive, where the wise and incredible Albus Dumbledore, played by the late and living legend Richard Harris, is met by Professor McGonagall, played by the wonderful Maggie Smith, as well as the friendly, gentle giant named Hagrid, played by Robbie Coltrane, who is there on his flying motorcycle with a little boy with a very familiar thunderbolt scar on his head. They're dropping him off to live with his aunt and uncle, who Mr. and Mrs. Dursley, and his young cousin Dudley, who is chubby, obnoxious, and rude-spirited, and basically as are his parents, and basically they drop him off, wish him good luck. 11 years later, he's basically being treated as almost like free labor in the Dursley household. He doesn't really get to have any kind of say in anything. He's emotionally abused, physically at times. They grab him roughly, and he's basically Oliver Twist. And then one day, he gets mail for the first time ever from an owl named from a magical delivery owl. And his aunt and uncle seem to not want him to have those letters, but soon those owls are persistent, and they basically drive them into a lighthouse. It's there where Hagrid finally reunites with the infant that he dropped off all those 11 years ago, and tells him, iconically, "You're a wizard, Harry." And the letter in question is acceptance into the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. There will be fun adventures. He'll soon meet Ron, Hermione, sinister but eventually kind-hearted figures like Professor Severus Snape, as well as a mysterious wizard who they choose to not name, who might have killed Harry's parents and then failed in killing him. Will he come back to try to kill him again? Everyone knows he will. Adventures ensue, and a magical adventure begins. Here is the thing. I don't think there's much to say about the actual consensus of this review at all. Harry Potter... I go back to something Alonso Duralde said in the What the Flick review of the original Star Wars, where reviewing Harry Potter at this point, especially someone of my generation, is the equivalent of giving a star score to the Mona Lisa. Like, this is an icon. This is an icon, not a film. This is literally a chunk of my childhood. So yes, I love Harry Potter. I loved all of the Harry Potters. Harry Potter, to me, is the equivalent of perfection. I grew up with these characters. It was my 8th birthday when I saw this film 20 years ago. I had a Harry Potter party, and my grandmother even got me the Hogwarts Castle. By the time I was approaching my senior year of high school, Deathly Hallows Part 2 came out. I grew up with half my life at that point. It was Harry, Ron, and Hermione were my friends. When I'd have slumber parties at my house with all my friends from school, we'd stay up into the late hours and pick parts and quote the movie on VHS. That's right, I'm that old. We would dress up. We'd go, when the books would come out, it would be events where there'd be parties and costume parties, and people would go to the screenings dressing up. This was an event. And does it hold up? It really does, guys. I watched it tonight. It was playing theatrically for the first time in 20 years at my theater. And I was back. I felt the magic. It had the humor I remember. It had the action and adventure I remember. It had the heart I remember. And even at the end, as he has to say goodbye, as he often does, that great line from Harry, that last line he says to Hermione, got me a little misty-eyed. It took me back when they're getting on the train, and Hermione very famously tells him, "We're going home now," and he very famously responds, "I'm not going home." Music swells. Not really. I was home. It was that, and the music, speaking of the music, one of John Williams' very best scores. That's right, John Williams scored the first Harry Potter film, and it's one of the most iconic. When you hear that dun 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 dun, you're in. I mean, when this movie came out, Ebert and Roper said it was the greatest fantasy they'd seen on the big screen since The Wizard of freaking Oz. Like, this movie, and it's one of the rare films, I think, that has earned that distinction. It is that good. And some people talked about, it's too faithful to the book at the detriment of other things. But it isn't, because it has that magic and that heart. These three young actors, if they didn't nail the three young actors playing these parts, it would have gone so wrong. And it's also so weird seeing at least two of these actors, because Rupert Grint I haven't really seen much of outside of that Snatch TV show, which was a few years old. But, Emma Watson is still actively working, and so when you see her, in Little Women, and she's, all grown up, and then you see her in this, and it's she looks almost unrecognizable. Daniel Radcliffe is currently on one of my favorite shows that's on TV, Miracle Workers. So I see him just about every week on that show. And then you look at him, he looks like a baby. He's 11 here, and it's going back in time. It's also weird seeing these actors who are icons, who many of them passed away, like Richard Harris again, who died during the series, but saying, Alan Rickman as Snape, what a great character. Just an amazing character. Complex, deep, and even those complexities, I also noticed some things I didn't notice before. One of which was a little odd, but we'll get there. Anyone who knows this, and by the way, this is a spoiler review, you've had time, you've had 20 years to see this movie, if you haven't seen it yet. Professor Quirrell is basically the conduit for Lord Voldemort. He takes off his turban, the backside of his head is his face coming out of the bald back of his head. Harry's touch burns him because he has the magic of his mother's love. Don't snicker. Don't laugh. Okay. If you notice, when they're first going... I didn't even notice this until now. When they're going into the pub initially, where they're, running into... And they run into Professor Quirrell for the first... Professor Quirrell. Harry takes his hand out to shake. And Quirrell doesn't do that. And he goes, oh, yes. That's called foreshadowing, my friends. Other thing I didn't notice that was actually kind of odd. In the scene in the lighthouse when he turns Dudley's little butt... This movie does have a little bit of fat shaming in it, I'm going to be honest with you. But basically, not directly, it's not in a bullying way, but the kid's also just an obnoxious little shit anyway. But basically, he puts a little pigtail on him. In that scene, I never noticed this because, it's from 2001. It's 20 years old. When there's a blockage out where he's off in the corner, very clearly that guy is not 10 feet tall. Nobody is. He's not an actual giant. That's all fantasy stuff. But basically, you can very clearly, they do these interesting blockings throughout the movie that are more visible, where his face is not shown to the camera unless it's in close-up. But there's one shot where he's off to the side and you see his face. That is clearly not Robbie Coltrane. That is clearly a very, very early 2000s digital restructuring of him, and it does look a little bad, I'm not gonna lie, in that one shot, but it's easy to miss. Otherwise, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, it's a monument. It just is. And of course, I'm giving Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone 5 out of 5 stars. Bang. Or rather, when Guardian Leviosa, yeah. 5 out of 5. Of course I'm giving this 5 out of 5 stars. This movie's iconic. 5 out of 5 stars. Chris Columbus really never, after the second film, never did anything that was this equal. He did good movies, but never this. This was insane. Okay. Trailer trash. Let's move on. Trailer trash, because we did get some trailers. We got, go through Rumble, talked about it, looks interesting. It's monsters wrestling. I don't know. All these, by the way, all the trailers, the few we got were animated rather. Oh crap! What was the next one? Poo. What was the next one? Oh, Sing 2. I always forget that Sing 2 is coming out. Sing 2 looks good, I guess. Kind of done talking about it. Let's see. Encanto. We talked about that in front of Paw Patrol the movie. The new Disney film looks good. Lin-Manuel Miranda's involved, so it should be pretty good. I'll definitely check it out. Ron's Gone Wrong. Talked about it. Looks like a lot of fun. Addams Family 2. I haven't seen the first of these new Addams Families, but I'll check it out before the new one. Looks like fun. And was there shawarma? Not in the main film, but we did get kind of a bonus feature. There's like this, in our re-release, they said like stay tuned after the credits for like a special treat. And boy, was it a treat. We got like this 15-minute little featurette that was kind of like, it was basically a preview for the new Blu-ray release of this, where basically they're going to do like a second screen feature, where I guess they're going to do like trivia, pop-ups. So they replayed like the first, like, the entire, really, most of the Dursley section of the movie, like, from, like, when they drop him off, like, the first 10 minutes. But what's cool is that they would do these things, like, little trivia pop-ups, and then every once in a while, the Sorting Hat would appear in the corner, and then you'd just see, like, it would, magic dust, a deleted scene would start. So we got a couple of scenes I'd not seen before in this little featurette, one of which was pretty hilarious, where, the ant, when the letters are coming, turns from that scene to a deleted scene where she's trying to make a cake and she's cracking eggs, and instead of the yolk, it's the letters, and she like starts to lose it and screams because there's more else. That was funny. So yeah, that's it. But that wasn't really shawarma. It was just a separate extra feature after the movie. So I think it's worth sticking around for. It's kind of fun if you're gonna go to the re-release. It's a fun little thing. If you have a little extra time after the movie to check it out, it's a lot of fun. It definitely makes me want to kind of buy the new Blu-ray set and see the whole movie like this. Okay. Coming up later tonight, we're going to talk Cinderella, with Camila Cabello. Tomorrow's AP Bio Season 4, probably. If not, it'll be this weekend. And then we'll talk about some other stuff coming up. The Alpinist, Malignant, and Show Me the Father. We will also be talking about Lucifer Season 6. And it's a little ways away, but in the next couple weeks, TV-wise, we're talking Midnight Mass, the new Mike Flanagan series. And speaking of Mike Flanagan, alumni, You Season 3 has a date, finally. It's October 15th, and just from the teaser, it looks like it's going to be crazy. So we'll definitely review that when that comes on. I'll be binging that the first day like I did the first 2 seasons, and we'll talk about it. So that'll all be next time, and until next time, I'm Grant the Movie and TV Guy. I see it all, and I'm happy to share it with you. I love you all. Appreciate you all. I love you, all the class dismissed. I love you 3000. Be kind to one another. If you want to, give this a like if you want to. Give it a subscribe if you want to. Give it a bell. I don't know what it does, but that's what you're supposed to do. Also, I woke up to like a really high view count for that Billie Eilish concert movie. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the views. And likes. I really appreciate it. I have no idea how much it really took for me to get, to do this. And I love you guys. I love you guys so much. All you guys. You guys have made me feel really at home on this platform, and you guys are tops. And if you want to find me elsewhere, lists, reviews, and other fun stuff, you can check me out on letterboxd.com at Grant the Movie TV Guy. I'll see you later. Go check out Harry Potter and Sorcerer Stone if you actually haven't seen it. It's great. And thank you all. Take care.